Gone, a short story written and performed by Madeleine Trudel.
I scratch my eyes and hang up my blackened apron. The walk between the smithing workshop and the cafe is short enough for my small-town tastes. The coffee is nicer here, I'll admit, but I still miss home sometimes. I'm reminded of my mother and her soft-spoken stories whenever I pass that one bookshop on the corner. It always has the same Grimm Brothers hardcover on display. Like the window has been forgotten or ignored by whoever owns the place. Much like the rural town I'd spent my childhood in, come to think of it. I drag my eyes from the book and march towards the cafe. Soon after I'm sitting at the stool facing the narrow window, I find my gaze sweeping the street to lock onto an alleyway. There is some traffic sailing by the view, but none passes through that alley. It's the same as it's always been, but not quite. I don't know anymore. It's all because of that damn thing that lurks over there, that sleeps behind the rubbish skip. I've seen the shadow of a man squatting amongst the litter, inhaling the city's moist and contaminated smog like he lives for it. I wish he'd go away. I rub my eyes again. He's been a stubborn thought, shadowing me like some stray dog. I have to walk by that alleyway every day. His brief appearances in my day bleed into my night. I'm finding my mind is heavily distracted from my work, drifting from molten metal to images of burnt corpses leaping after me as I had in my recent dreams. It's cost me a lot of time in the shop. He gives me a dread that I haven't felt since childhood, where you see shadows move in your wardrobe, a figure stalking you at the end of the bed. I don't look in his direction for too long when I walk by, because in spite of his back always being turned to me, I somehow still feel his eyes on me. It's ice sliding up my back, prickling at my scalp, and washing down to my toes that have ants crawling in between. I walk faster. I can't take this anxiety anymore. It can't be healthy. I want him gone. I'm worn out enough as it is without him around. I'm going to see him up close once and for all. That will prove that he's just some poor guy in an apathetic city. A man, nothing more. That'll put my whirling thoughts to rest. Having finished my coffee, I walk out of the cafe, and before I know it, I'm approaching the alley's mouth. I instinctively cast my eyes down. At this point, I'm only pulled by a need for closure to this mystery of a man. By the time I pull my head up again, I realize I've actually passed the alleyway. I might as well go home now. Come on, let's go. I'm leaving.
Hey.
A rattling voice, cold as the putrid breeze billowing from the alley's mouth. I don't dare breathe. That had to be him. No one else could have said it. Hell, I don't think that voice was even natural. It's still echoing in my head. Something tugs at memories of stories told by my mother of soulless creatures, prowling haunted spaces, eyes peering from cornfields, unseen hands brushing you.
You,
says he, the word grating in my ears. I snap my attention to him. He's crouching behind the rubbish skip, peering at me from pit-like eye sockets. The eyes themselves are so white and shriveled. How can he even see through those things? He unfurls himself to his full height, a towering 7 or 8 feet tall, and the sight of his cancerous grey skin pulled taut across his lopsided jaws sends a shiver sliding maliciously up my spine. Blackened and receded gums bear the teeth that are icicles guarding the mouth of a claustrophobic cave. He's standing over me now, his breath coldly biting at my nose, stinking of garbage and death. I want to move, but I'm rooted here. My eyes are beginning to water and sting, but I don't dare blink. His cracked lips quiver. This is one of the spirits my mother had warned me of so long ago. This was why she was so scared of strangers, why she wore so much jewelry. This is the nightmare I had been spared from. Until now. I feel acid in my gut, frost cutting at my throat. My eyes rusted open.
You have seen me,
he croaks, a coarse whisper like the rattling of bare branches in winter winds.
The metals have tainted you.
I had read somewhere about metalsmiths building up microscopic shards in their eyes, their skin. I figured I'd have a small build-up at this point in my career, but I didn't know. My mother did always use silver and iron to protect us from the unsavory beings of other planes, but I had never thought anything so sinister, so otherworldly could manifest like this. How could I know it would let me see creatures such as this? Isn't this a nightmare? Am I really here? How can it exist? The rotting thing lowers his head, inching just a little closer. His mouth contorts into a toothy grin. I must have been stuttering my thoughts aloud.
We, the nightmares, have always been here, around, hidden, some better than others. But you have built your sight. You will see, now and forever. And you will go mad. Many have done so.
I'm not sure whether I want to believe him. I just want him gone. I want to forget all about today. I want to go. I think the tears that cling to my lashes have begun dribbling, mixing with the sweat. He narrows his eyes at me.
Weak. Mortals are so weak. They break too easily. What will it be? And may crumble. That is your fate.
I do feel like breaking, really. I feel like I already have. But there is one hope for me yet. It's desperate and it's dangerous, but I'd rather anything than to live like this, drenched in chilled terror my whole life. Gods help me.
I want to make a deal.
That made him back off, just a little. Clearly he wasn't quite expecting such boldness from someone so apparently ignorant of his kind.
Yes.
He hissed.
I don't want to see you or anyone or anything else like you. Let my life
be normal again, please.
The creature chuckled, and it made me flinch again, because his laughter was thunder on corrugated iron, just crashing around me.
I will do so, mortal, but only for a price I deem worthy.
I take a deep breath. It felt like I'd stopped breathing altogether since stumbling upon the other. It did nothing to soothe my constricted throat. Let me go, please, just let me go home.
Anything.
And the creature stooped down over me once more, sweeping his too many-fingered hands towards my eyes. His black tongue ran across his icicle teeth greedily.
You are sure?
Is this a good idea? Have I really come to making a deal with a devil, the terms of which are as blurry as my tear-filled eyesight? But I'm so tired. I can't take a moment more of him, let alone a lifetime. So am I sure? No, not at all. But I nod anyway. His hands close on my head. I flinch, eyes snapping shut against the moist and leathery fingers. And I never open them again. Because while the bastard had indeed taken my gift of the sight, he'd also taken my ability to see anything at all. He took my eyes. But you know what? I've never felt safer.